The pandemic has been going on for a year and a half now, still counting. We have been constantly bombarded by messages from mainstream media. The science, the truth, but is it really? Fair enough, we did have a new situation here. Shit hit the fan big time this time. Do we remember the outbreaks of SARS and MERS? So yeah, we have some strange wars going on in China. What should we do now? This guy completely entrust the authorities with CCP, or maybe take some preventive measures, as this time it really seems to be more serious than before. By the way, why do always all these viruses emerge from China and not from places with significantly worse hygiene like India or Africa? Okay, so you think, yeah, let's do something, maybe limit international flights from China, like for example Taiwan did. No, wrong. Sit down, you Nazi. Let's embrace the Chinese New Year instead. To the Chinatowns. Hug some Chinese. After all, we all know from our high school's biology studies that the best way to prevent a new virus is to fight xenophobia and embrace multiculturalism. After all, even the WHO said back then it was not transmittable. It was only Trump who was such a racist to think this. Okay, so now all this shame and efforts to fight xenophobia, now we have successfully imported a new virus to Europe and the rest of the world. What can we do? Maybe we can take a look at what the Chinese are doing back at home and mile zero and just copy that. After all, a communist dictatorship who even tried to cover up the whole thing and deny even the mere existence of the virus must know how to defeat this virus whilst maintaining our human rights in Europe, right? Yes, my fellow politicians, let's do that. But hey, it's only 2 years, weeks, to flatten the curve. Okay, so now you're locked down. You don't like it? You're irresponsible. You want to kill my grandma. You want to have a genocide. Maybe your grandma should stay home instead and let other people live their lives and work their jobs. How dare you think about personal responsibility and agency? How dare you suggest people take responsibility for their own lives and consider their own health situation? Okay, so at least let's tell people what they can do to lower their personal risk, like taking vitamin D, like eating healthily, lose fat, and maybe exercise. Oh, sorry, you can't even go to the beach or the woods now, because that would be like a genocide, basically. Do you want that? Do you want to kill people? I know what to do. Let's instead ramp up fear propaganda so people are going to stay at home and save their lives. Easy. After all, mainstream media has always had your best interest in front of them. Let's just give this a second thought. Why have personal agency, responsibility, and freedom of choice have been so completely avoided during this pandemic? First of all, we all know fear sells the best, both in media and in politics. On the other hand, personal agency, responsibility, and freedom of choice have become values of the far right, basically, almost towards the libertarian end of this political spectrum. After all, if you think about this, if people start exercising these rights, they're not going to cease after this pandemic ends. And this is obviously not good for politics and most governments whose main goal is only to stay in power and extend their power over people as much as they can. You would also like to control the people who your future depends on as much as possible, right? On the other hand, the modus operandi of mainstream media has always been generating strong emotions by clickbait. Since last year, people have clicked frantically to get the latest coronavirus updates. Guilty. So media outlets have garnered record attention. I think they're not going to exploit the situation as much as possible. It just seems like capitalism. They're going to do what's best for them, money-wise. We shouldn't be upset with them. We should be upset with the huge chunk of population who still think that the media is telling the truth, exceptionally, just for one case. The mainstream media don't like critical thinking, independent, responsible population. After all, if you are responsible and independent, who would watch and read all the mainstream media propaganda? You can't let a parrot out of its cage and expect to go back into it after later.